the thing where we go like this.
We go 3, 1, 2. I can't even count. I wish I
5,
could count.
3.
Are we on yet?
Are we on?
I'm doing entity fingers.
Are we wasting time not being serious?
Hi, hello, welcome everyone to the one and only weekly Twitch.
Yeah, it's every week. So it's, yeah, perfect. I like it. I'm good with that. I'm good with
it's the one and only number 19, titled "We'll Get to the Bottom of This," which, funny enough, we won't.
We were going to. We were going to get to the bottom of it, but it turns out the bottom was just the beginning.
We've cancelled it.
So we will dig deeper.
There will be.
Hello, everyone, and I missed you.
Are you expecting something?
The mic again? Microphone.
Really?
Again, apparently.
Oh, Mike.
Did that help?
Tap. Well, I don't know. Maybe not.
Every time.
Is
Did you
it-
try to jiggle the thingy?
It'll go away.
Fine.
All right.
Okay, so we're
They
just going
say
to believe.
it'll go
It
away.
needs to warm up,
Yeah.
I guess. That makes no sense. Okay, so let's start with the first part of our show, which is one of my 6 favorite parts. News and announcements.
Oh, nice.
So first of all, hellos and introductions. Who are you, Ash?
I am Ash. I am the creative director, and that is my role.
Is it your turn now? It's
Yeah.
my turn? Yeah, go
He
ahead.
was drinking.
I'm Mathieu. I'm the producer.
And I'm Dave. I'm the lead designer.
Well, that's fun.
That's lovely.
I already feel closer.
Indeed.
Okay, that's good. Introduce our moods. I'm feeling good.
Oh, I feel good. Yes, absolutely.
That's not what's written there.
Oh, moves? Was
But
it? Or
yeah, you have to
introduce
do your move.
Okay.
My move is this now.
I have no moves today.
So
even
our
an arm
mods.
Yet.
Introduce our mods.
Yes, introduce them, please.
So I'm Murph. We have Murph. That's
Hi, Murph.
our mod. We also have Suggestive. Hello. We have Bucket. Hey, Bucket. And who else is here today? I think that's it. So Sassy is not here for some reason. And I believe that we are also missing Clyde. So there.
Well, welcome those who've come to help us.
There
are
you go.
Most welcome.
Big news
Big news.
for anybody who has never listened to us.
So-
I will be at TwitchCon.
Ah, amazing.
Yeah.
Is that
So-
amazing? I think
Well,
so.
I think so. I've never been to
No,
TwitchCon.
TwitchCon is amazing.
I've never been.
Well, I've never
I
been,
think
no,
it's going to be great, but
What do you think it's going to be?
I think it's going to
How
be great.
do you imagine TwitchCon being? Like
Mostly
having never
purple.
been there, mostly purple, almost entirely.
Almost entirely purple,
A sea of purple.
and really a lot of people that I've seen monitor will now be in the flesh in front of me. I might actually be able to touch a few of them.
You're going to get some big headsets and mic combos.
Hopefully, I get bribed. Yes.
Oh, you're going to get. Oh, that's good. If
Well, I'd like
happens.
that.
Well, I'd like.
I welcome bribes. We all do. I'm just saying, putting it out there. So I'll be at TwitchCon, which is at the end of this month, and I will be there happily to shake hands and do some, I don't know,
What are
public
you,
relation
what are
things.
you doing there? You're just chatting. You're relating publicly.
Oh no! I also will be giving out some extremely exclusive customization item. I think that we have had somewhat a success with the Dweird and to some extent the Chuckles mask. So we will be also distributing some new items that will be exclusive-ish,
How do they
and
get
then we will be giving out some really ridiculously exclusive items for cosplayers if there are any, and a
something
few
be-
people that I have in mind that I'd like to meet.
What, just to be sure, I'm clear on the subject, is ridiculously exclusive.
Ish.
Well, it means that
Ish.
right now, as we know, there are over 1 million copies of the game in circulation, so we can
Ooh.
expect that there are at least a dozen people playing the game at any given time. And I'm not a
To say
map
the least.
person.
Yeah, no, that is clear.
So, for reference, the Dweird codes, fewer than 1,000 have been distributed so far.
Is that because you were not doing your job properly? Or there just were not that many?
Ish.
You had 1,000 people came to see you?
No, we had 500 printed out on cards.
Yeah.
And we also gave out probably 200-300 through Twitch streams and digital mediums.
Okay, cool.
So that's not many. The Chuckles mask, we printed out 100. There are still about 20 in the studio right now that are in the hands of the developers and people. And then we probably gave out 20 more through digital channels. So that's not many.
Well, how did they get it at PAX? Did they have to?
At PAX, we gave it to cosplayers and people who did stupid good performances while playing the game at the booth. So like a killer who would murder everybody in a very spectacular fashion, a survivor who, like you, would be saving everyone and then getting wounded and then making a daring escape at the end and then going back for a friend, and then these things would warrant a code. So there. What about us European guys? There will be ways for you out there to get it. As I said, some were digitally transmitted,
And,
which can happen over the ocean.
That does happen, I think. And also beyond Europe, there's other countries in the world that we live in that we'd also like to support and give them some stuff.
True. We have started to have a bit more of a presence in through our Chinese channels, looking at how we can get more involved in the Thailand scene. And then Russia is, of course, a good friend of ours. So
Absolutely.
we're going to try to make sure more Dweirds appear with Russian players. So there. That was TwitchCon.
Stretch goal.
Comic-Con. New
There's
York Comic-Con.
more news? I can't keep up with the news.
New York Comic-Con will also be a thing where Dave and I will be at.
Yay.
Ooh.
Come say hi.
I believe Paul and Olivier might be there too. So obviously, you know, less impressive presence, but they're worth the travel. I'm telling you.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah, come say hi, shake our hands, and
Maybe
we'll
surprises, I guess.
there will be great big surprises for
I
sure.
thought you said maybe surprise us,
Maybe.
but don't do that.
Well,
I
don't know.
Maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, so there may be some stuff there as well. That'll be fun. Go find them. It'll be great.
yeah, we will not be attending TickleCon, which is a tickle convention.
Is it a thing?
Nope.
No. Good. So we will not be attending or creating TickleCon. But
There
I'm
you
sure.
go.
I bet it is a thing. I bet it exists.
I strongly bet on the furries to have something like that.
It's my first thought.
Anyway, so is
Not
that?
good.
Oh, and the last thing is the this thing.
Yeah.
We're talking about this.
You're talking about
This. Okay. So the DLC pack that's coming in September. We talked a little bit about this
We mentioned
last time.
September, I think.
Yes, I'm reminding you just for our viewers.
Oh, good. Thank you.
And it's the 80s suitcase.
That's right.
That's what it's called. We have a logo that's not displayed here
No, it
because
is
we
not
didn't
there.
prepare this.
We were going to. We said, why don't we make sure that we
and
have
then
a
we
cool
said,
logo
no,
to
let's
display on
keep
the
it
back.
for later.
Hey,
So,
we had it in our minds, guys. You need to
Like-
get better at this.
all right. So yeah, it's coming very quickly towards you, but it's gonna be our segue into the next part, which is part 2: things that are on their way.
Oh, that is exciting. What's on our way?
Well.
Well,
Absolutely.
Oh, PTB.
nothing.
That's
Well-
it. And for a moment there, I was confused.
Yes.
what's that?
I'm glad you created
So-
an acronym.
Those of you who don't know, for us, the theme in September was to secure a more stable game. Make sure we fixed many of the issues that plague us and you to a certain extent, and that we made the game more solid, more polished. So that was the most important thing that we had in mind. That was the focus for the whole team. One of the ways we wanted to do that, and we've implemented this week, is the creation of a public
Test. Build.
test build.
Otherwise
There you
known
go.
as the PTB.
That's true. That's what's written right there.
And
So,
we're trying to all make ourselves say it.
so the idea behind the public test build is that we have a place where we can push some changes, test mechanics that we're not exactly sure should make it in, test some big changes, for instance, things to the matchmaking or to the lobbies or things like that. So, yeah.
All little things. It's all good fun with a serious edge. is how I
So
would put it.
the important thing we want to put there is to make sure people understand this is not necessarily what the future holds.
Although
Not
it's
always.
a fairly
It's a
certain
test bed.
exactly, like it's an indication
Yeah,
of
but
what
some-
we're working on, of what we're trying to get to fix, how we're trying to make it better. We are trying to make these features work in the game, be balanced, and go into the final build. But it's an opportunity for us to explore how behaviors are created based on the actions that we do. So it's an opportunity to really test them out in a live environment with a much bigger sample than we get within the studio.
The focus on that one was mainly matchmaking and lobby. That
Absolutely.
changed quite a lot and was a scary fix to push in. And I mean, it was a success just in the couple of hours really that the PTB was there. We were able to find that most of the matchmaking fixes were great. We also find issues that we're working on right now. And we also caught other bugs that you found. So that's also really good. So
Yeah,
that
it was
we will
amazing. It was
push to the patch, right now. Also, I just want to repeat how this works. If you've participated into testing this public test build, then thank you. I mean,
Very
it's,
much.
it's a huge help.
Yeah.
That's why you wrote merci.
Yeah, that's why merci for this. If you're considering trying it, know that your save game will be preserved. So if you try to play in there, you will be able to use what you've unlocked yet in the game, but you will not be able to progress, and your save game and your ranks and everything else will stay as is, so you don't have to fear losing anything. How to access it is explained on Steam, so you can find that there.
It's pretty simple, really. You
Yeah.
enter a code in the
Yeah, you can,
yeah,
in
look on
properties.
Steam. Yeah, yeah.
You can enter a code. It's really simple to do, and then you have access to it. And there we go. So since the PTB went in, we've changed a couple of things. We could go through this.
Yeah, so
It's
right
really
now,
interesting.
for the record, most of what you see in there is the big patch for September that we had worked on for a while. And as soon as we fixed a few of the issues that we've seen in that public test build, as soon as we fix those critical issues, that will be pushed to live to a few with a few minor changes.
Yeah. So
There are, for instance, things that we will not be pushing, like the slowdown.
Yeah, the slowdown on the hook is something we wanted to test, but it's always been like just a part of the fix that we have in mind. We just wanted to see how it went on a larger population. So that's one thing that we've changed. We also tweaked a couple of different stats here and there. And there's 4 last big things that we're looking into right now before this goes out. 4. So the first one is there's a nurse bug. I don't think it was introduced by the patch, but it's something that was put forward, and now we really want to fix it before it goes in. Which you have a window where you can attack or interrupt in the cooldown, in the fatigue. So that's a no. It can't happen. There is still a joining lobby issue with Survive with Friends. That's the main thing that needs to be fixed. So they're looking into that right now. Impossible to disarm a bear trap under a hook during the first phase of the sacrifice. That's going to be fixed. And the Death Engraving and Doom Engraving add-ons for the Hillbilly have no effect. So this is going to be fixed as well.
So that's a good question, Dave. Just popped up. It's like, shouldn't there be more testing before we do our patches?
There is a normal amount of testing made on these things.
Well, the thing is, we test internally. We have a group
Yeah,
of QA,
of course.
but there's only so much we can test, and the conditions they're testing in are not representative of 10,000 people playing
limited.
together. So, it's
I mean,
limited.
it does become a choice that we make between wanting to do regular patches that try and improve and upgrade the game on a regular basis, like we do. We want to show our commitment to the game moving forward, and it's possible that we could just take it offline and do very small patches on a very longer period with more testing. It's just a trade-off that we have to do.
Yeah.
So I mean, a lot of testing
it's
does
true
go
that
on.
the new public testing build went out on Tuesday, and right now it's 2 days.
You're
3
right.
days
Like, I
later.
mean,
that's not a lot of time.
No,
Maybe in
of
that
course.
sense.
So as our first month of PTB, this is more a test case of the PTB
Absolutely.
than anything else.
And really, it was rolled out for matchmaking. I mean, we needed to see a genuine sample of the population because, as we mentioned before, like if we'd had a critical matchmaking bug, it would have meant that no one could play the game. So,
Oh, that's beautiful.
Is it beautiful?
Paul, that was a beautiful thing.
Wow.
Okay.
Yeah. Have fun.
Come see me at my desk for your whipping after this. Okay.
So 4 big things that are waiting fix, and then we can patch it in the real universe so that everybody can experience the new patch. Other things that have changed since we've released the PTB. We have some new balance and bug fixes that happened. So we disabled the mechanic that slowed down the sacrifice. There you go. So that's not going to make it into the patch, not for now. Rebalance the map scoring value. So it is very low. I've seen some people who were disappointed about that. That still want to make a decent amount of scoring by using the map and scouting. We want to reduce it and see how you can use it strategically rather than to grind points.
Yeah.
And we rebalance some of the flashlight scoring values as well. Now that the flashlight is easier to find, to use, the scoring seems quite high at the moment. Different bug fixes. Disable VSync while the game is in windowed full screen, so that would help performance for some people. Fix an issue making it possible for the trapper to place traps under the hook, so that was a bug, not
It was
something
a
that
bug.
we wanted.
Well,
It
you
was
never
a
know,
bug.
but who knew? Who knew?
Yeah,
That's the
the-
fun of the...
We did.
well, no, we did. But that's the fun of the PTB. It's like we're going to try stuff out. We're going to see what happens.
Yeah. The lightsaber was fixed too. God, that was a funny one. That was good.
Yeah.
Fix an issue which caused the killer matchmaking to search for a wider range of ranks after survivor would join a lobby. So a little bit better matchmaking there. Fix an issue which caused the players to get stuck inside a survive with friend lobby. Better. Fix an issue which caused the UI and ready states to be out of sync. Okay, not good. Fix an issue with the worn out toolbox not affecting the skill check difficulty, and localization fixes. So there.
Thank you very much
You're
for
welcome.
that exhaustive list.
That was very good, Dave. That was very good.
That was exhaustive.
I like that list.
I'm exhausted.
You go
going.
take a snooze?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's something that's not on the menu at all.
Were you going off
But I
the
want to
script?
say,
You off the script?
yeah, absolutely.
This is dangerous.
I just want to give a shout out because yesterday I
Oh, you
was
can
in
do
the
that.
stream.
I thought you were going to say
Tom from 72 Hours was doing a stream, and I went in, and it was a pleasure watching that guy play. He's got some very constructive comments, and I want to say thank you. You are a valued member of our community. So there. What else do I got? Oh, new chapter.
We're still in the.
Is that like the
On its
smallest?
way.
That's the
It-
smallest bullet point I've ever seen.
Well, the thing is, it's called new chapter, and the extent of it is we are saying it's on its way, and that's all we're going to say about it.
But we are saying it's a new chapter.
Right? It's all we're saying about it.
So besides bug fixing, part of the team is also working on a new chapter.
Which
New chapters, for those of you who don't know, means a new killer, a new survivor, and a new map. Or
There you
maps. And then fluff that goes around. Were we supposed
Don't
to talk
forget
about
the
the
fluff.
fact that one of the things that we are sort of working on in absolute secret
Is this a-
also?
you off the script again?
I think so. But no, but it's part of the stuff that we discussed earlier that we should
So
put in the
you
script.
claim. Go on.
Weren't we talking about the fact that we want to find a way for people to be able to somehow maybe grind through the game things that
Oh.
are
Yes,
available
we did say
through
we did say we want to introduce
DLC or
the
something
community
like
to
that?
Yeah.
You've said it.
I've said it?
Yeah, you just said it.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
that
there.
is something we're actively.
We'll give you
looking
more
at.
details when I'm allowed to talk about it.
Well,
Oh
whatever
yeah,
you do,
no,
don't
it
say it
said so
before.
here. It says be very vague. So I think that
Well,
I
maybe you
nailed
could let
that
us
one.
know. Well, I think that seems to be a common thread with people who watch our Twitch. Seems to be they don't tell us anything; they're just very vague. But in that case, I think you were very clear.
On purpose. Okay, so that was the section where I'm very vague on purpose.
So that's all on its way. If you were unclear what that was, it's on its way. It's going to be great. It's going to
Yep.
be amazing.
Now, the next thing is the game changes. that we are doing.
Ah.
So there's two things that people have been able to see in that
Yeah.
PTB.
Yeah, absolutely. So we'll talk about them.
Please, Dave, tell us a little bit about them.
Quickly, I've told everyone that the Hook campaign slowdown mechanic is only a partial fix of the grand scheme that we have in mind. We're not ready to push that out into the real universe right now, so that's why we've took it away. For the window cheese, the window block, we want to keep it and we want to push it. We've tweaked some values, seeing how people play with it. We know that it fixes one type of infinite juking, not all of them, but at least this is going to be in, and then we're going to continue working and looking at specific spots, changing some level design, changing some procedural aspect to the levels, and have other mechanics for other type of cheesing in the future. And there you go.
All right. So on that note, I know there's a lot of talking about infinite jukes, but
Talking,
with
Shouting.
writing, shouting,
screaming.
but really, you have to be so good to pull anything resembling infinite juke.
Like
Most
a
of the time,
genuine
it's
infinite juke.
a couple more
Yeah, but
seconds.
to be fair, like
maybe
we're
a
talking,
minute.
But we're talking about people who've they put borderline their life into playing our game, and we love them for it, and they are that good. I mean, it's reaching the point where
It really depends on the
setup.
difference of skill between the killer and the survivor.
Yeah.
Like anybody can cheese at any level. We know that it's possible to infinitely cheese around a rock, which I find quite amazing, and no will not fix the rock.
No.
So there you go. If you're not a very skillful killer, you'll get cheese way more often, even if it's not an infinite spot, like people call. So there.
So there.
What?
So there.
There!
So take
I
that,
said
all
it.
you non-infinite cheesers on your occasional cheesing.
What's next?
That's me.
Next, hook camping.
No,
Well, we said that.
I've
We've covered that. We're
So
not
we're
going to push
done?
this one. We're not. Well, we're not
We're
done
done.
with hook
Bye.
camping. We know that hook camping is something we're going to fix.
Well, yeah. So, well, technically, now we're at the part of the show where we go to the web for things.
Oh.
I think that's what it says on my list here. We had a really...
Hey, since we've talked so much about the patch, I'm actually surprised nobody said, "When's the patch?" So
Yeah,
I'm
when-
doing it. When's
yeah.
the patch?
Come on. When are you doing it? When's it releasing?
When's
I
the
think
patch?
that it's been about 2 days that every 5 to 10 minutes
Well,
I've been asking Stefan, our gatekeeper, so when's that patch coming? And he's like, oh yeah, there's only that one last thing to fix.
The gatekeeper. Well, the gatekeeper
no,
is
actually,
influenced by the PTB now. I mean, that's how
he's
it
got
works.
his own very personal sense of humor where he goes, oh yeah, well, we could release it now if you want.
It's like, it's not the
But there's
answer.
this one thing we want to fix about matchmaking because sometimes Survive with Friends crashes.
And
you're
I
like,
don't know
"Oh,
if you, I don't know if you
you're
want to
funny."
fix that. It's like
And so, yeah. So there are
he
people...
is the gatekeeper for a reason. But he is. I mean, but that's exactly like the question is: shouldn't there be more testing before a patch? We created the PTB. We have had 2 or 3 days of test work with it, which is not enough anyway. But it was great for what we needed to do. It exposed some problems. The patch is going to be slightly delayed as a result. And it'll be released when we are confident that we have those bugs ironed out.
In September.
In September, well, yeah, exactly. But that's dangerous. But that's still our goal was. When was our goal to release it? That might be a fair thing to say.
Well, we said
wanted-
September.
Yeah, so we're going to be doing it this month. So
That's true. So there.
like.
So
Still can't-
someone is
still doesn't
here
feel
saying,
satisfied.
please don't release it anytime soon. Test it more.
Okay,
There will be a little more testing for sure.
and then we will release.
There's
it.
some happening right now.
Yes.
Oh, I just realized.
That might have been the same person. So can you test everything more?
I don't know enough about Twitch, maybe, but so I think I see people's private messages through the Twitch. Is that a thing?
I don't know.
Don't
No, I
think
don't
so.
think so.
Okay.
Like what?
So, like, if you, as a person on the stream right now, tell this guy who's also on the stream something quietly, do I see it?
Don't
I
think
have
so.
no idea how it works. Maybe.
No, that's something else. You may have a secret
No, I don't.
access code.
Oh no, but I see what Dead by Daylight says because I'm also logged in as Dead by Daylight.
Oh, that's
That's
why.
probably why I saw Paul's message earlier, and he might not actually need to be whipped.
Oh, well, that will be nice for him.
He can
will-
if he wants to. That also is a service that I offer, but that will be for a reward, not punishment.
It's a completely different kind of whipping.
There's usually a little more warming up involved.
I don't want to know.
Okay. So let's go to a bit of the web, maybe.
A little bit of web might be fun.
Okay, so I have a few things in store that I want to show.
There it is.
Okay, so that was me on Tuesday actually getting this arm tattooed, and it hurt like a motherfucker.
This
I'm
does
telling
not surprise
You have a
me
new
at
tattoo?
all.
It's actually an old few tattoos that I had a lot of forest being put around with a moon and some trees and things. It's all very beautiful.
Ooh.
One of the trees, if you look closely, actually
can
has
see that,
the
yeah.
Dead by Daylight logo etched into it,
It's very, very cool.
which I thought was a little clever.
That's cool.
So cool.
So that's what I wanted to show off.
It's very nice.
This is by Dark Hood. I thought it was a really cool little piece of art there. I believe it's called... I forgot. So I
don't
believe
think
it's
it's
from
cool.
Dark Hood. You can check it out. I found that one on the artwork section of
cool.
our Steam page. This is a very cool little piece of art by a pleasantly named artist called Fuck You Hillbilly.
Beautiful.
Yeah. This is we showed something similar last
For the Killers.
week for the Killers. This is from Mkatkashka or something. Mforksha. That
You did very
looks
well
good.
with that name.
This would look good, like on like in the bathroom wall. If you had a bathroom where you could put a 12 by 12 piece of art in there.
Put that in your bathrooms.
But
Yep.
that's a fact.
This is from Miss ZB.
Now,
It's a
is this what
strange
everyone...
gender swapping of our survivors, which I thought was very interesting, especially because while we were at PAX,
Are you sure that's gender swapped?
well, strangely enough, Claudette does not seem to be gender swapped.
No, and can you be sure that Jake is? Or is it just...
Of course.
Well, the
Dogs.
bosom and the hips and waist ratio.
Why would only two be gender swapped? They're all gender swapped.
Okay,
Yeah.
apart from Claudette?
Dwight
No,
is
even
amazing.
Claudette.
I'm joking.
It's a hair. Anyway,
I
but
think it's
the
great.
thing I wanted to talk about is the fact that at PAX,
Yes.
we had a lot of female Dwights,
Yes.
which was very interesting. The one prestige Dwight we had was female. So,
Oh, there you go.
props to you, madam. This is from Neon Space Artist, and it is pretty cool. It seems like there's a huge wave of people doing cute killers.
Yeah,
I think that makes sense.
they're cute.
Okay,
That's not so,
so-
cute.
this is a different section of the From the Web thingy. This is from a user that I will not try to say his name out loud. He's a Russian guy. We've talked about him on Twitter a while back because he's the guy who made that replica of the
Wow.
killer weapon.
Which is
Nice.
incredible.
And now he made a replica of the killer's mask. He's got a YouTube channel. Go check it out. We'll put the link in our description afterwards. He does some really, really cool stuff.
it's
Maybe
amazing.
he's very rude when he talks because I really can't hear anything. This is a mask by Creo Harry. All these names will be somewhere afterwards. I thought it was really, really cool.
Very
It's
cool.
an interesting sort of almost cel-shaded version of our mask, and it looks
Awesome work.
really
Yeah.
nice. So
I find it quite humbling with everyone who does artwork. Like everyone we show, like it's always just amazing to see people doing that
yeah.
and drawing their, finding their own characters within them. It's incredible.
So here we have a makeup segment from Miss Mao Mao, I believe. Her and two other friends called Only in Your Mind and Rex Queen. They got together and they did full-on makeups for the three killers from the game, and it was really, really cool. So they have instructables. Actually, they made an instructable
Oh.
page, and they did a
I
YouTube.
hear something.
We'll get back to that.
Well,
Can
there's
you We have a special guest with
Do you
us
want me to
today.
leave again?
Oh no, please come in.
Do enter,
Please come in.
join us.
So have a seat,
sorry.
please. Have a seat with us. I'll introduce you, and
you.
then we'll
you.
let people know why you're here. So
I'm just a pretty face. That's what I thought you needed.
But that's it. We have nothing else. You're just here to
no,
spice
so
up the.
as some of you may know, we are here at Behavior Digital in our amazing
Yes.
studios in Montreal,
Yes.
and yes, you're pointing to Montreal. Oh, they're pointing to the logo. Clever boy. So. We are not the only team in the studio here. There are a few other people working on a few different projects.
That is fact.
One of those projects is called Warhammer 40k Eternal Crusade, and not only is it really, really cool, it is coming out very soon, I hear.
So yes,
Would you like to introduce yourself?
hi, I'm Nathan. I'm the senior producer for Warhammer 40,000 Eternal Crusade, and we are launching
When?
very soon.
Within a few hours.
Hour and a half, I'd say.
Oh, well, that's soon. I think
Yes.
we're allowed
You
to say
seem
soon.
relaxed.
I am relaxed. This is not my what is it? It's not my first rodeo.
Oh, okay.
So-
Is either that or heavily medicated?
Yeah,
One of the two.
both, always.
We all have our techniques.
Yeah, I
some
mean, you
people
know,
it's yoga, some it's
this
hot
is- this
cup
is-
of tea.
with
Uh,
something bad in it.
So for some people who don't know, the game will roll the trailer. You have a clip, right? I'll do like
Yes.
if I'm on
Yes.
like a
Yes.
late night with
Yeah,
someone.
I took
Late
my
night
brought a clip.
Yeah, I took my like talk show like mug
yeah,
with
yeah.
me too.
It's
as
a
well.
Warhammer mug.
Warhammer mug.
Which faction do you hail with today?
I am chaos.
Ah, that should have been clear.
Yeah, that was it. That's done.
All right.
That's
Yeah.
just the entire game.
Well, there.
Yeah, it's like it's taken us about 3+ years to get to this point today. that we
Making
are.
games is hard.
Yeah, it is. And I mean, so mainly the first 5 seconds of the clip were the most difficult, but the rest was pretty smooth though.
Okay.
So we're quite happy with those 30 seconds of gameplay that we're delivering today. And I hope everybody else is going to enjoy it. Actually, people are enjoying it already
Good.
because we're in early access, and we will switch from early access
To full-on release.
in hour and a half. That's our plan. I mean, our official launch date is tomorrow.
So people should go and check it out. It's on
Yeah.
Steam.
Yes.
It's amazing, and
Yes.
then they should probably buy it and then buy a copy for their friends.
Yes, because we totally want your money.
Oh.
I'll just be blunt with that.
Okay.
We also want to be nice to you because the thing is we have a pre-order weapons bundle, and because we're nice, we decided to actually extend that offer for an entire month. So you get the pre-order bundle of 12 weapons.
Even so, it's like also a post-order.
Yeah,
bonus.
it's like also for those that are coming late and like, hey, oh
Early
man,
adopters.
Yeah, early
Okay.
adopters.
Cool.
Let's call it that. So you have that too. And right now, I mean, we're already on the top sellers list, even though we haven't even started anything else. So that's quite pleasant. Number 3 in MMOs right now, and early access as well. So I mean, we're happy to be on those lists when we haven't even started our marketing. And
Yeah.
well, it actually
Is everybody taking a vacation, or do you have more stuff coming?
Yeah, like we're launching in an hour and a half, and I'm going on vacation in 2 hours.
It's the safest way.
No. It works the other way around. Like this is basically where we start because
Yeah.
So our model is that you buy the game and then you have free expansions all the way out.
There
And,
you go.
and you have an in-game store, of course, which is what really fuels us the long term. And it's not pay to win; it's mainly cosmetics. We have so much stuff to add simply because the Warhammer universe is huge.
Yeah.
And we're also the first massive third-person shooter that has all these 4 factions and really has a persistent world and this kind of customization. So we're quite excited.
That's cool.
Cool.
Yeah, it's really cool.
Come
Check
on.
it out.
Yep.
Hey,
So,
like
thanks for passing by.
shooters,
Thank you
online
for having
shooters
me.
is great.
Now we'll go back to our regularly scheduled
Yes.
program, but yeah, and we'll let you. You probably have a few things to look at this point. I
One or
assume.
two.
No, like I stand and like
Oh, you're
You can just
gonna
take
go back?
over, actually. We have a
More
Q&A you
more
can
red,
join in on
more
if you
red.
like.
That's my job, right?
I get it.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
All right. So we were in the middle of saying something when we got rudely interrupted by this breaking
Right.
news.
It was hot.
I like
off the
it
press.
personally. I've played this game,
Yes.
I
Absolutely.
like it. Not saying you should stop playing Dead by Daylight, but we're not telling them
If
that.
you're into a different experience, third-person shooting, multiplayer online, all good fun.
That's it. Enough of that.
Ah!
Okay, so what I was talking about
Creepy
before,
makeup.
I want to say the creepy makeup. So we go back to no, not that one. That's not creepy makeup. That's really, really hot ink on a
Creepy makeup.
yeah. So Miss Mau Mau and her friends Only in Your Mind and Rex Queen did some instructables. They did some YouTube videos explaining how they did that. They do a few other makeups, but I thought these were really interesting takes on our killer. So you can show the next one, which is Only in Your Mind.
yeah.
That's a really cool rate. And then the next one is the Rex Queen, who did a very interesting take on the Hillbilly. Hillbilly is a difficult one to
Oh yeah,
cosplay.
for sure.
Yeah. So do that for Halloween or Christmas.
Yeah, whatever kind of Christmas.
Whichever.
There are other holidays.
There are many
Or
other
tonight.
holidays.
Every
Or
day.
tonight.
International holidays too.
Yeah, we have Stefan Horvath's mother is now celebration, I believe.
Oh,
What is that?
Or no, his mother's birthday.
Oh.
Not just his mother. She is not a celebration.
It's like
I
his
apologize.
Mother Day?
That is not a thing.
it could have been though. I mean,
She
you
could be
never
a
know.
celebration.
It's possible.
I don't know, but
Anything
that's
can
not
happen.
the news I heard this morning.
These days, anything can happen. That's all I know.
It's true.
So,
Okay.
Should we take some questions?
Yes, let's take some questions.
Okay. Come on, you can now do some questions.
Okay.
There's
We'll check
Oh,
in.
we didn't get the Q&A thing?
We didn't
Okay.
take more this week.
Okay.
Because we have so many things. So we could take from the Twitch chat for once.
Oh, okay. So there was a question here about can you add us on Steam so that we can report bugs and things like that. I will answer that in a more global way. We are looking right now. So if you go on the Steam forums,
what was this
there is
question?
a section where bugs are reported on the Steam forums, and that section is actually looked at, and we do pay attention. And some people with actual technical skills get given that information, and they try to fix it.
Because if
So
we try and fix it,
that
can you
exists.
imagine what would happen?
No.
Terrible idea. But right now we are looking at other ways, maybe to create like more or less discussion boards here and there, whether it's a
Reddit, Steam,
Slack, Discord, whatever else.
yeah.
We're looking at different ways to get the conversation going, but for now, the Steam forums, the bug report section is very, very useful, and you
Absolutely.
should use it. It's not like screaming in the void. There is
No.
an ear floating in there.
Yeah.
Some people were asking, where are they constantly looking at?
So
So right now the setup we have is there's a monitor there where we can see ourselves, and then the camera is right here where we can look at it, and we tend to look at ourselves
oh yeah,
it's
everything's
so pretty.
And to be fair though, everything's new today as well. Like,
Yeah. It's
a different
cameras
setup.
are-
they completely changed the room by
So-
about 35 degrees, and
And
it's
We're
off-putting.
easily confused.
Oh, we
Yeah.
are very, very weak-minded individuals.
So yeah.
so yeah, you're right.
Oh, yeah. So I just saw Tumblr's Gaming. He asked a very interesting question on Twitter, and he asked it again now. I think it's very interesting. He was wondering about a placebo effect, because we hear a lot
Yeah.
of, "Oh my God, you nerfed the killer so
Yeah.
much," and we didn't. And well, except for the nurse. So he was wondering, well, how many, like, on the actual real universe, if the nurse was starting to lose more just because of a placebo effect.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's pretty interesting. But we could start just by saying that we did check the stats of the public test build.
Versus-
And what did we find?
So basically, I mean, as we said, it's been a very small sample to the point where, like, it's a couple of days' data, so that's interesting. I mean, we're talking about, 2,000 games went through, 8,000 people logged in, so I guess some people didn't get in. So it's quite a reasonable amount of data, but not anything to draw any great conclusion about. But the basic comeback was, it was identical.
Yeah.
Basically, it was identical. There was a variation. There was a variation that were more. There was a higher chance of a 4-0 survivor win. I mean, the overall balance was almost identical. So those 4-0 wins were taken out of the 3-1 survivor wins, which I guess makes some kind of sense when I extrapolate it out as being that they got that person off the hook due to less hit campaigns or another rescue, giving more 4 in the level 4, make everything go faster. But it was. I had to flick between the charts a lot to get any kind of like genuine visual representation. When you look at the percentages, it's like in terms of the killer's 4-0 sweeps between the 100,000 games versus the 1,000 game, it was like, 20.39% or 20.3%. I mean, it was that close in terms of if you're specifically talking about the killer's ability to dominate a field, or were killers being wrecked everywhere? It's like, no, not in the data that we saw. But again, as we said, like it really is a very early sample. It's our first time with the PTB. It's our first time with everyone on the PTB. We're not sure of exactly who the people who are playing it are.
No.
It's interesting, and also like as you identified with the placebo effect or other similar things, because there's nothing to lose in there. It
Absolutely
could alter the way you play the game. And we've seen this over the course of development too. We've seen it when we make a radical change to the game or we add something different. Play styles can change to the point where players can develop new play styles through radically different ways of playing. Like your normal way is like, I have to be scared, I have to do these things. It's like, for example, this is my favorite example of this, is that often when we're play testing a new level, quite often the artists don't put collision in. But I never notice. I end up running around walls as if they should be there. But the moment you can run through them, you can't help but do it. And everything just goes out of your mind. You can no longer judge the game in its balanced form. It takes time for you to reassimilate, to relearn the rules of the game. Because these tiny little variations can have mammoth ramifications across the whole of the balance of the game. So it's very interesting and something that we need to keep an eye on moving forward.
So I'm really interested in that feedback. If you have the impression that something changed radically for you in a couple of matches you've played on the PTB or on the real universe one, and you want to discuss, please do. Reddit and Steam, you can start a discussion. I'm really interested in them. When they get really toxic, I tend to step away from them. So try to keep it civil so we can have a good conversation about it. I'm really interested to get this because you are a lot of people testing this, and I want this feedback. It's valuable to me.
I took notes of a few questions while we were doing this. So, are we ever going to get a new male survivor? Because the new survivor that we released was not a male.
There's going to be other male survivors.
Yes, there are going to be other male survivors.
There you go. So that's a question answered. Mm-hmm. Can the killers remember their past?
Not maybe.
Not maybe.
Yeah, it depends on the profile of the killer.
Yeah, it does. It really does.
Some of them do.
Yeah, some of them do. Some of them don't. And remember might not be the right word. Have access to.
Oh.
Maybe.
Maybe. I love it.
So, not maybe was a great answer for this. I'll put this. Some people wanted to see my tattoo. I might show it when it's healed. Maybe I won't. Maybe to a select few. I'm looking at you, Dick Fort. Will I be able to buy items with blood points?
Well, sorry, I was distracted by someone that says nurse is OP, but...
is nurse OP?
I don't know.
I don't know anymore. Yes, we do. We have stats. We can prove it.
Funny. Okay, what?
Is nurse OP?
Will I be able to buy items with blood points?
Well, that's interesting. So as part of a later update, there's going to be something massively different about the blood web. Not necessarily about items, maybe, but it is something that I'd like. Maybe, not maybe. No, it's not going to be about item, but in even later, yes, this might happen. Something I'd like to see, some way to be able to refund, exchange, or do more things with the equipment that you have or that you don't want.
I think it's certainly
That you
fair to
don't
say,
have.
like, I mean, we always say the maybe, and people accuse us of being vague, but all we're trying to do is at least expose you to a little bit of how we're thinking. Like, we can't come out, like, we could have just withhold all information, just tell you when we've got a feature and we're ready, but, like, it's just, yeah, we're looking at that kind of stuff.
What I like the most out of this is that you'd be able to take all your common things and transform them into a non-common thing. For
That
example,
would be a dream.
trade a lot for less, but of a better item.
So there's a question here because there's a question mark at the end, but it's not a question. It says 5 survivors in the selection,
What?
and that's, but it's from someone called Panic Fart, which I thought was worth mentioning.
Okay, no, fine. Yes, 5
That's
survivors
all I
in the
got.
selection.
Okay. Will all DLCs be free? No.
No.
Some will, most likely, and some won't, because we do have people here that expect a paycheck at the end of the day. So not all DLCs will be free.
Would you like to reiterate the DLC plan for us?
Well, I needed to be very vague about it.
No, not what we're doing, but our
Oh, the
plan
DLC.
for DLC. We will be as generous as we can.
That's true. There will not be any pay to win.
No, and that's it.
That's it. Really.
Be as
do
generous
not
as we
split
can.
the community.
And we do
We
not.
do not
Thank you, Dave. My
Yeah,
God, I
there you go.
almost
That's the
split the
third one.
community. I almost did it. Do not,
Split the community.
and don't do that.
So, someone was saying, "Oh, if the patch is not ready to push, that's fine. But can you release the DLC with the outfits now?"
Sadly, no.
Not.
That's not how things work. You have
Well,
to-
it could have worked that way. To be fair, like
Wait,
it's possible that it could have.
yeah,
worked
that's
that
not
way.
how this thing.
No,
works.
unfortunately, it does not work that way.
Yeah, so we need to patch, and that will allow us to then unlock the DLC.
So yeah, we'll do it as soon as we can after we do the patch, which we will do as soon as we can.
Someone said,
Imminent, inbound. Sorry.
Someone said the basement hooks are only the trapper's hook. Will you ever have rate and hillbilly hooks in basements? Which
that is
kind of makes me want to discuss a bigger issue about this. Do you
I
want to
don't-
talk about that bigger issue?
Dave.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. Okay. Then yes. Then we are
Please tell us.
planning. We are planning a change to the hook system, where the
A
hooks.
decoupling
Yeah, exactly. Like
or recoupling.
we're going to try it out where the hooks are based on the theme that you're in and not based on the killer. So we want to extend the amount of time that the survivors don't know who the killer is, and that they'll have to wait for one of the audio cues or get eyes on the killer before they know who it is. What we're trying to do is again alter survivor play styles in the first couple of minutes of the game, so that those first couple of minutes before discovery of their prey is even more stressful and intense than it was before. So this rollout, I'm not sure exactly the date that we're planning on doing it. I imagine we'll see it in the PTB before we'll see it in the game itself.
Yeah, probably.
But we'll have more details with that coming up.
Yeah.
You have
That's
nothing
good.
else.
No, that was the quiet moment. Will there be more asylum maps?
I should think eventually, yeah.
Sorry, I was distracted, like always.
Will there be more asylum maps?
Oh, yeah,
So more
absolutely,
layouts that are
absolutely.
set in and around the asylum.
Yes, there will be more for. We start with the one, and then we'll add more in that team.
For sure.
Absolutely.
Will you bring back Dwight's nail biting animation?
I'm not
It's a
sure the
long one.
reason why it disappeared in the first
Yeah,
place.
me neither.
I'm not
I kinda like
I
that.
feel like we should start an investigation.
Ooh, I like investigations.
Okay.
Can I get my serious mustache?
Yes.
Yes.
It's not an
Grow it.
investigation without that.
Okay. Will you ever listen to the killer's point of view on anything and not just the stats?
Oh, okay.
That's a very interesting question, actually, because
yeah.
we do get a lot of comments
Comments
from
That's
people,
true.
very loud comments.
And some quiet ones.
Accusations, I would say.
There's also very well worded, more quiet conversations that
Absolutely.
are happening.
I think it's fair. I'm going to just answer that and say we listen to everyone who says anything sensibly to us.
We do not. Yeah. Absolutely.
Actually, I'd say that some of us listen to people even when they're not sensible.
Yeah, I know, but we shouldn't.
But that is not the we do not take decisions based on that. We listen,
Yeah.
but we also always look at stats and see if it matches reality, because stats are reality.
We play it ourselves.
True.
We try to break it with the discussion in mind that we've seen, and we have it in consideration, and we decide what we want to do with it. And then at some point it happens in a patch or not. If
And
we
it takes
decide not
time.
to
I mean,
fix.
each individual thing takes time, and we discuss it, and it's not an everyday thing. But we genuinely do read and listen to so much stuff and discuss so much. I mean, it's impossible. I say it every time, but without you being here and seeing our whiteboards, you'll never know, really. But we do.
How long do you think an average high school detention is?
I know why this question is there, and it's pretty fun, and I'm not gonna answer it.
Okay, good. Keep up the good work. Oh, that's
Yes.
nice. Why did you remove the feature to stop face camping?
Oh well, yeah, like we said earlier.
Actually, can I put that in with another question I saw earlier,
Yeah.
which is why did you not include the timer length in the? Why have we decided not to push
Yeah.
the camping one? So it's
Yeah.
kind of a combo
Yeah, it's the
version
same
of the
question.
same thing, yeah.
Yeah, so we're not ready. It's not the full solution to the the camping. So we just wanted to test this partial fix. Test.
There's a lot about it that feels like we should put it in, but there was some weird behaviors that came out of it that gave us enough pause for thought to just go, let's not put this in case that becomes something
Yeah.
community-wide and creates a problem.
Absolutely.
So someone was saying, could it be that your old stats are wrong because old matchmaking put newbies against pros, so it doesn't show balanced
Yes,
games?
absolutely right. Our numbers could be wrong, and the way we read them could be wrong. And you're right.
Well,
like there's an opportunity.
I would answer no to this question because when we do check these stats, like for the nurse, for example, we take only matches that include rank 1, for example, with rank 1s. So
Yeah.
we make sure that the matchmaking is not counted as an issue in this. It's weird talking to you and looking in the other direction.
I
I'm
know.
gonna
Yeah.
find one. There you are. So we do take that into consideration. We do know that matchmaking was flaky and that there's some weird matches that would make it easier for Survivor to get away, for example. But that's out of consideration when we do check the stats. And when we compare these rank 1, seems totally legit. The nurse is not more OP than other killers, and the balance that we're trying to get is very close. I mean, it's very close to what we're trying
And it's
to.
also, it's an asymmetrical game with killers with different powers and survivors with different perks and skills. Like, it is possible that you could play 10 games and it be unbalanced for whatever reason. For
Yes.
set out and load out,
Just,
that is likely. But
And it goes well with that question that keeps popping up. Someone is very excited to get it answered. It said, why do you keep nerfing killers when they're so weak already?
which is
amazing.
crazy.
See?
So, that's just not what we see. So, or what I see when I play the game either. But you have games when it's like that. The best, hopefully, the matchmaking fixes will put everyone on a more even playing field. And then we can start looking at the stats again just to make sure everything's still balanced.
On the same kind of subject, there's some sort of weird trend right now that I see all over the place on the webs, which is like the entities playing mind games with you guys, because some of you think that some uncommon items are rarer than other uncommon items, and that there's all sort of intricacy in the blood web, and that, but no, like
Yes.
maybe no, it's
why?
not happening. Like if you're just unlucky and you don't get that specific perk that you want, it's just because you're unlucky and it just didn't happen. There's not a rare perk rarer than other perks.
I'd say if you think that all the killers are so very weak, then you're just a very, very good survivor. Or you're a very bad killer.
I am a
happen.
very bad killer, just for reference.
Do you think they're weak when you play them?
I do not think they're weak when I play them.
Will you...
Why did you nerf the Trapper's owning stone?
Yes. Why did you do that?
Why did we do that? So when we've checked in that pass of loadout, we've quickly checked the different add-ons of different killers, and the owning stone showed a clear spike in
Usage.
in usage, but also in the winning rate of the trapper. So looking back at it, we thought that it would be a better idea to have it a little bit rarer and have this one a little bit different. So that's why.
Codes are gone. So that's
Is that
it.
a
We have no
question?
more codes.
Are there
No
any
more
more
codes?
codes? I guess was the question.
Yeah.
What were the codes today?
I believe they're dweirds.
Oh, we do like a weird.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes, we do know that buffing survivors means nerfing the killer. Yes, we do know that.
It's good to get it reiterated, though. You know.
Of course, it's a balance.
Any other exciting questions? Sad times. Someone's sad.
Oh, that's a good question here. Will there be incentive to play the PTB?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and I think yes, that would make sense.
That would be something we'd like to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Someone keeps asking, can you please each say soon in your very seductive voices?
Are we gonna do this?
I don't think we should
We're
do
not
that.
playing that game.
No. No.
Well,
No, I
no.
will not say that.
Okay.
You'll have to catch it live when it happens.
But we don't usually say it purposefully with a seductive voice.
No, that's
We just each have very seductive voices.
That's what happens.
Yes.
Or has happened. Or
Uh,
will happen.
yeah. Will you
When is
give
the
us
next-
infinite blood points in the test to test everything?
Maybe, but it's not. That's not why we build the PTB.
Not really. It depends on how well it goes into the PTB and how fast we can change what's inside it. But yeah, I mean, it makes sense if we can give you access to everything so that you can test all the new things so that we can get the data. I agree with this. We just, before this happens, we just need to be sure that we can react and change things fast enough.
Someone is asking, was the chainsaw, the flashlight that blocks the chainsaw and everything else, was it on purpose to test? No.
No, it
was
wasn't.
that was a pure bug.
Yep.
Yeah.
So I've seen a couple of questions about servers. Do we have anything to say about, like, why is this game simply not on servers? Come on, it can't be that hard.
Well, we are. No. I was not. I'm not gonna.
We are
So
not,
no, that's a decision we made at the beginning
Yep.
because it made more sense financially and in the development. It is a better way to do things. Right now, with the traffic that we're having and the widespread geographically of the people playing, it would be probably a better experience overall.
Yeah.
But it requires major changes. That we are looking at some of those changes. We are looking at some sort of an overhaul of our system and our back end, but that's one of the things that we can't really rush.
No, you're talking a long-term solution to the plan.
Yeah.
All right. It's 4 minutes too.
Okay. Will the game ever be released for consoles?
I hope so.
I
Well,
had that question before.
Yeah, we are looking at this, by the way. Seriously. Some serious people are looking at this and comparing things and pointing at stuff on a whiteboard. So, all bets are off at this point. Yeah. How's the merch coming?
That's a good
Yeah,
question.
Paul. It's coming along. I heard from him. So things are moving forward. These things do not really become a thing overnight. But it's...
Well, it's been a week. 7 nights.
So, yeah.
So some stuff happened over the last 7 nights. So we will keep.
Yeah,
working
we
on
really
that.
do.
I would like some.
I want some merch. Like, everybody on the team wants some merch.
Everyone wants some merch.
So, yeah. So, there.
Will we ever get something for reaching rank 1?
Yeah.
Ever? Will it ever happen?
Yeah, it will.
It will
I
happen.
hope so. As
Will
soon
you
as
give out
possible.
codes for cosplayers who tweet at you? I absolutely might.
That could well happen.
Photoshopping your face onto Dwight's body is not cosplay,
No.
by the way. Not that anyone tried, but that does not count.
You should definitely try tweeting yourself in cosplay and see what happens.
What's the worst that could happen, really?
Don't even answer that.
I shouldn't have said that.
Well,
Butts are a problem. Are you guys doing anything?
Yeah, so we've tried something, and it was a partial fix, and something new will be done.
Yeah.
I'm working on it, and hopefully it's going to be as soon as possible.
Will you give us more DLC this year?
other than
No,
this
it
September.
said chapter.
We are working on a new chapter.
Yes. These things take a little time, but yes, it's. If I was shaking a magic 8-ball.
Did you shake a magic 8-ball?
No, I don't. I don't do that.
Okay.
But if I
call.
was,
Don't do it.
Last call.
Last one.
Last question.
Have you thought about implementing weather?
yeah, everybody thinks about that.
Well, of course, because it would be extremely cool if we had weather in the game. However, it is a big and scary system with many potential downsides, not least of which just the overwhelming nature of doing the art for it. But yes, we have thought about it, but we are not very close to a solution. But you never know. So we'll come up with some ideas. There's lots of ideas for things.
All right.
Yeah. So
So you're at that last section.
when do the skills go out on sales?
I don't understand that.
I'm gonna go for it. I'm gonna say it. I think
Yeah, say it.
What was the question?
soon. I'm just kidding. They're not coming soon. That's another thing.
Forever.
All right. So we are at the end of the Q&A section. That was
Okay.
part 5. If you've been following at home with the list here, this is the part that's not number. It says end. Repeat news and announcement. News and announcement.
And now for news and announcements.
Hellos and introduction. No, we don't repeat that.
No,
We don't
we
introduce
don't
the
do
mods
that.
again.
Really quick.
TwitchCon. I'll be at
Yes.
TwitchCon. Come shake my hand.
Handshake.
Comic-Con. Dave and I will be there.
Double
Do
handshake.
not surprise us. We are easily startled. And we will have things to talk about and give out.
I just want to real quick. One last question. It's really important. We started an investigation on the dildo in
Yes.
the campfire.
A
And,
serious
This is a
investigation.
very serious investigation.
Yeah.
So I
we-
wanted to have an update on this today, but
Yes.
we are not ready.
We were close, but the
We have some suspects,
Oh yeah.
and we will get to the bottom of this.
This is serious.
Words of wisdom.
Well, no, we have the. Oh, yeah, we are at the words of wisdom.
Yeah,
So the
that's
words of
right.
wisdom today will be in French because they are from my grandmother.
Oh,
Ma grand-mère disait toujours, le bonheur, c'est comme le sucre à crème. Quand on en veut, on s'en fait.
that's
Alors,
nice.
The sucre à crème I was talking about is it's probably the closest thing people would have would be fudge, I guess. But it's sort of it's a very family recipe. It's usually like
Let's keep it at that.
yeah. So the saying goes, happiness is like fudge. If you want some, you make some. Because
There you go.
because it's a specific thing that usually people don't go and buy at the store. You
Mhm.
make it for yourself. So there you go. She also said,
delicious.
chaque guenille trouve son torchon.
That's an awesome one. You should have kept it. Don't do 2 in a week.
I'm generous like this.
Okay.
It's like when I posted that thing on Twitter that I thought was very clever, and then people were like, no,
You
keep
should
it for
that
words of wisdom.
Yeah,
No.
Okay. So
It's lucky you got
that's
such a
it.
wise man in the room.
Well, no, and the thing was, any machine can be a smoke machine if you use it wrong enough.
There you go.
That's amazing.
But
Now
it's not
you're
really
free.
words of wisdom.
Yeah. I think so.
It can help in a pinch, I guess.
Sometimes you're in a pinch.
All right, so all codes are gone. All codes are gone.
Stop
all
requesting
codes
codes.
are gone.
So if you don't
Don't
follow,
forget to follow.
click that button.
Oh yeah, do that.
To
That'll
know
be
when
fun.
we
You
come
definitely
back
will.
online.
Otherwise, we'll be offline forever.
Follow us on Twitter, Twitch, Steam,
Twitch.
Facebook, I guess, if you're still on that. MySpace. Do we have a MySpace, Paul? No?
Hard to say.
MySpace.
No MySpace.
What?
All right. So I guess that's it.
Okay.
How did you say not maybe in French, Dave?
Pas peut-être.
Yeah.
Pop tight.
Pop tight. Sounds like pop tart.
It does.
Pop tight.
It's fine.
All right.
TM.
So there you
Alright.
go.
No, that's fine.